Okay, hello. I'm Luke Green. This is Touch of Evil by the Flying Frog Game Company. It is a very fun game. I unfortunately don't have that many people I can play it with. I generally have to play it solo myself since I live off in Japan and there aren't many people in my neighborhood that play English games. Um, and I've been looking for a way to record myself playing it, and I've tried camera. One of the cameras I have doesn't work too well. The phone is a little bit worse. There's very little way to transfer information from the phone to the computer. So I've decided to try to do it through Roll20 here. Now, I have already done one of these in which basically I fought the werewolf, and the werewolf won. All my party members either died or became werewolves, or both. Um, and I kind of recorded all of that, including all of my little pauses and ums and ahs and checkings of rules and stuff like that. This one I'm going to do a little bit differently. This one I'm going to do more like a bat rep. I'm going to summarize what's coming up. I'm going to summarize what has come before. About the time I'm going to do the mystery turn phase on the camera, and when I do that, I will summarize what has gone in the round before. But first, I think we need to. We have the town elders. We don't know which ones are good and which ones are evil. Our villain for this situation is the Scarecrow. That was what I randomly rolled up. I was going to cry if it got to be the werewolf again. Actually, I think I know how to beat the werewolf now, and I think it is engage it for one round, engage it a lot very early before it gets too powerful, run away after a round or two, and just whittle it down because it doesn't recover all its health if you lose like a minion does. It has to heal only a little bit each time. Okay, this is the Scarecrow's minion board. Just a moment. Harvest Wind. Every hero on the board must immediately pass a Spirit or Cunning 6+ test or take 1 wound. Shadow Trek moves 1 step closer to darkness. Every hero gains 2 investigation. The Frightening. Discard the top card of each location deck and roll a d6. On roll of 4+, randomly select 1 card from the town items stack and remove it from the game. Really? From the game? Can't even bring it back. Because usually when you run out of things on the discard pile, you just shuffle it back in. That is evil. Locust Swarm. Heroes must use Cunning instead of combat during this fight. Has 2 fight dice and 3 wounds, and you have to fight it with Cunning. Murder of Crows. You don't fight it. Whenever Murder of Crows is rolled, put a crow marker in the space as well as an additional crow marker in every adjacent space. Limit 1 crow marker per space. For every crow marker that cannot be placed due to the limit of 1 per space, move the Shadow Track 1 step closer to darkness. Unlike other minions, crows do not displace existing minions and do not stop hero movement or escaping from a fight. Crows do not prevent a hero in the same space from taking action, such as encountering a location, etc. When a hero enters or starts their movement in a space with crow's marker, or if the crows appear in the hero space, roll a d6. On a roll of 1, the hero must lose 1 investigation, item, ally, or wound. That would be the hero's choice. That means crows can kill your allies. Ouch. Which makes sense. They come in large swarms. Or they come in murders. Any hero in a space with a crow's marker may try to drive them off as an action. Make a spirit or cunning 5+ test. If successful, the crow's marker is removed from the board and the hero gains 3 investigation. Scarecrow attack. The villain attacks. Does not count as a showdown. If there are no heroes in that space, instead place 2 investigation at the location and the Shadow Track moves 1 step closer to darkness, meaning it kills someone while you're not looking. Okay, the Scarecrow himself. Oh, Now, as you can see, he gets very, very strong as the time goes by. We will probably want to kill him before the shadow track gets too deep, because that +4 combat, +4 wounds, yeah. Feeds on fear. This is what this means. This is what that is. As the shadow track moves closer to darkness, he gets a bonus. On top of the cooperative bonus. Well hidden. Must pay twice the cost listed on the layer card to start a showdown with the Scarecrow. So we gotta hope for a layer card that costs 1. Hopefully there is at least one that costs 1 investigation. Flammable. Hero may discard any keyword fire item while fighting the Scarecrow to gain +5 fight dice for 1 attack. Master of Terror. Anytime a mystery card murder is played, roll a d6. On a roll of 4+, put a murder of crows at the same random location as the investigation. A full murder of crows? Not just a crow ugh. Okay, so our heroes this time, we are bringing back Adriana the Foreign Traveler, though this might be the first one you see. So Adriana is basically a female daredevil. She's blind, so she can't use books or maps. She gets to deal her hits before the monsters do. And she can pay 2 investigation to force rerolls and pays 1 less to look at the secrets of any town elder. Oh, and her color text, I do not need to see you to stop you. Okay, that's Adriana. Next we have Inspector Cook. Inspector Cook is a detective. Whenever he would gain investigation from any source, he gains 1 extra investigation from somewhere. In the absence of fact, we must not rely on fiction. He's got very low spirit, pretty good cunning, decent combat, good honor. Oh, modest combat, not very good combat. Good honor. Okay. And Carl the soldier. Carl's also very simple. He's good spirit, good combat. Good cunning, very decent combat, very good honor. He ignores the first hit taken in each fight round. Not in each fight, but each fight round he ignores the first hit. Stand back. I'll handle this. Okay. He saw stuff during the war, and now he goes hunting. And Lucy Hanbrook, who is from the Hero Pack expansion that I got. It's not really a full expansion, it's just a very small box. It's a box with a few extra heroes, like this. Let's see. Adriana the Foreign Traveler, Harlow Morgan the Inventor, Lucy Hanbrook, and the Scarlet Shadow. Plus the Necromancer as a villain. So she starts at the manor, and she starts with 4 investigation. Once per fight round, she may force her opponent to re-roll 1 of its fight dice. And she's a youth. She automatically heals every start of each of her turns. I have to do something. Okay. So, those are our team members. That's our villain. And I'm going to pause and take care of the first round. And I'll be back when it's time for the mystery round. See you in a little bit. Well, you'll see me less than a moment because I'm just pausing. Time's not going to pass for you. So, well, whatever. I have to figure out a way to cut that. Anyway. Okay, so welcome back. Now, to summarize, Carl went first. Carl actually traveled up to the manor, found a secret door, and through that secret door gained 1 investigation and moved down to the abandoned keep, where he met up with Jack, the servant boy. Okay, that was what he did. Then, after that, Adriana here went to the covered bridge and investigated. Didn't really find much of anything, but she got an event for Knocked Away, which is a defensive event. But causes you to lose an item. Then the Inspector Cook went to the magistrate's office, did some investigating there, and got an invent for reassuring speech, so that at some point down the line he can affect the shadow track and move it back the way it was, and gain investigation that way. I was tempted to use him to train his cunning there, but decided to save the investigation for now. Lucy decided to move all the way over to the windmill, where she found some broken spectacles. Unfortunately, she failed the test, so she didn't get anything out of it. She could have gotten a look at Dr. Manning's secrets. Instead, she spent all 4 of her investigation investigating Sophie the midwife. The reason for that being that something I forgot in the werewolf battle, if you see it, where I was having all the investigation cost 2. In cooperative game, the investigation of the elders cost 4, however many heroes there are. And since it's a game for 2 to 8 players, if you have 4 heroes, investigating the elders in a cooperative game cost 4. So she started with 4, and she decided to look at the secrets of Sophie the midwife. And unfortunately, that did not go so well, as you can see. Sophie the vixen, she is a villain. She is a servant of darkness. She is not the villain, but she is a villain. Okay, that's usually bad news for me, since Sophie usually kicks my ass. Anyway, she is not the villain this time, so maybe that's not going to happen. Now, we are doing the mystery phase. And I'm doing the mystery phase in front of you because I want you to see my responses to it. Let's see here. 1d6, 5. Scattered clues! That's the best possible thing I could have gotten. Everything else is horrible. Scattered clues puts investigation on the board. At the covered bridge. Unfortunately, it also got rid of a cheap bit of a cheap layer. Here we go. Let's make this, instead of white, I'm pretty sure that white is going to be pretty hard to read. Yeah, let's put this up to 40. Get 2 I. Oops. Oh, I don't need the I. We'll just say 2. Investigation's blue in the game anyway. Oh, you can barely see it. Okay, yeah. I'm going to go back to the way I did it before. To invest. Okay, to invest. Now we draw a mystery card. Mystery card is terrible. Murder! Let me look up that thing on the murder of crows. On a roll of D4. Okay, so we have to roll. If it's a 4 or higher, there's going to be a murder of crows as well. No murder of crows for the Scarecrow this time. The villain has struck again and placed 3 investigation on the board at a random location. The Old Woods. The Scarecrow wants us to. The game wants us to go south. Don't do that. Okay. And Shadow Track moves to 19. Okay. I've got to manage that Shadow Track. I can't let it get too deep. On the other hand, layers are expensive. They cost 12. Okay. That was the end of round 1. The summary of round 1 and the mystery phase for round 1. I'm going to pause again and do round 2. And I'll come back for the mystery phase. Okay, welcome back. So, way it went with the second round, Adriana and Cook both rolled 1 and moved very slowly. But because they rolled 1, they got to pick an event anyway. Whenever you roll 1, you get to draw an event. Adriana drew I think not, which will let her cancel event results on the minion chart, and it will also let her... Oh, I misused it in the werewolf thing. It only cancels events on the minion chart. It doesn't cancel mystery cards. I also was limiting myself too, because I thought the limit on inventory for town items was 2. It's actually 3. Anyway, this also will let me prevent one thing from moving the shadow track. Inspector Cook he drew as an event to play immediately. He had to place a militia. I decided to place in a militia in the Old Woods since there was 3 investigation there. I have no real way of knowing where to put a good place to put the militia is right now, because I have no idea of knowing where the lair is. So hopefully that becomes useful, but there are militia patrolling in the Old Woods. So, and then Lucy went from the windmill back to the manor house, where she spied on the servant girl putting something on the floorboards, and on 3 dice rolled 2 6s to get 6, because you get 3 investigation for every 6 you rolled, and anything under 6 does not work. She rolled 2 6s and got 6 investigation. So after that, Carl went from the abandoned keep. He rolled a 5, went over to the Old Woods, and he found some garlic, which would be awesome if we were fighting vampires. As it is, I can still discard it to prevent 2 wounds to somebody. So it's a good defensive item. And now it's time for the mystery phase. This is the phase what makes me cry. 4, a minion attack. Let's pull up the minion thing. 1, harvest wind. Spirit or cunning 6 or take 1 wound. Okay. Spirit or cunning 6 or take 1 wound. We'll start with Adriana, since she was first player. Both her cunning and her spirit are 3, so doesn't really matter which one we choose. She has no successes, so she is going to take a wound. She also, if I remember correctly, gains 2 investigation. So she's going to go up to 4 investigation and is going to have 1 wound. Okay. Now we go to Cook. He has 4 cunning. Still need a 6, so it's just still unlikely. 1 success. No wound. He gets investigation, and because of his special ability, he gets 3 instead of 2. He's up to 5. Okay. And from there we go to Lucy. Lucy has a spirit of 3 and a cunning of 2, because she's a nobleman's daughter and is kind of sheltered. But she still gets a success. Nice. She hasn't been in a fight yet, so she hasn't had to use her lucky thing. So she gets 2 and goes up to 8. I really hope the layer I get is cheap. Okay. Carl. They're both 2. He's likely to take a wound. No! The only one who took a wound is Adriana. Lovely. Okay. And he gets 6. He goes up to 6 investigation. Okay. I'm going to move this here. Carl was first. I mean, it's not alphabetical anymore, but that's the order that the original one was. And actually, it's not the end of the mystery phase. I haven't drawn the card yet. I could have used I think not to stop that. Oh, speaking of which, because that is an event on the minion track. Lovely. Let's see what the mystery card I drew was. These roads aren't safe. Roll once on the villain's minion chart. The player who drew this card chooses any empty space on the board to play that minion. Move the shadow strike one step closer to darkness. 1d6. 6. At a random location. Or any empty space. Oh. You know what? That's an event on the minion thing? I think not. It happens at Adriana. It shows up. She practically pwns him. Sort of. Nice flurry of blind martial artist skill. And there we go. That didn't happen. Okay, we now move on to round 3. Pausing the video. See you in a little. So, welcome back. Now, and I forgot to type out a summary for myself first. So, basically, the first thing that happened was Cook came down here from right here down to the old woods, and he found a dog, Franklin, the old hound. So he now has an extra 2 wounds, though if he takes those, the dog dies. Oh. But yeah, he's a little bit tougher now. And he got all the investigation on the board. So that was what he did. After that, it went to Lucy. Lucy went to the fields, managed not to get a mystery, managed to avoid a mystery, and picked up Honorable Jester as an event. So basically, found nothing, but it set up something for later. Okay, that takes us to Carl, who moved up to the covered bridge, where he uncovered gossip and rumors about Magistrate Croft. Now, this card would have let me get the option of changing out that secret with another one, but I would not be able to look at the secret I was changing out with. And also, Adriana came next, went to the marsh, and found gossips and rumors about Dr. Harding. So we know both secrets. They're little secrets. They have no effect on this hunt. They're nothing to do with this hunt. Magistrate Croft is full of lies. He will probably try to take credit for everything we do. He takes credit for everything. He undercuts everybody. He is a lying little self-aggrandizing twit. But he's not a coward, and he still gives us +2 fight dice against constructs. So he still does his job. He'll take credit for our work, but he's still good. I could have risked changing it out for something like Inner Fire, but I could have just as easily gotten Darkest Secret. I don't want that. It's a terrible card. Similarly, Dr. Harding is a war criminal. He did something during the War of Independence that is very terrible. But we don't know precisely what, because the card doesn't tell us, because it's very vague on it, because it could apply to any of the 6. But they aren't evil, capital E evil, at least. Magistrate is a little bit supercilious. He's not probably even lowercase evil. He's just annoying. Dr. Manning, not Harding, Reverend Harding. Dr. Manning is probably a little bit evil, but he's not going to be getting in our way of fighting the supernatural monster. So that's that. We are now into mystery phase. Time to cry. Nope, do not put that there. What did I just do? No, I do not want a debugger. Okay, here we go. 1. Darkness falls. Shadow track immediately moves 2 steps closer to darkness. We are now into phase 2. And the Scarecrow now has +1 combat and +3 wounds. It's got 23 wounds. Nope. Sophie's with it. It's got +6 combat. It's got 7 combat and 24 wounds. Lovely. Oh. Okay. Mystery card. We mustn't linger. When rolling for lingering, a hero is now attacked on the roll of 1 or 2 instead of only on a 1. That remains in play. Now I want Daybreak, because that can get very nasty very fast depending on if I linger. Do much lingering. I shouldn't stay quiet. That is the end of round 3. We are now about to hit round 4, where Lucy will be the first player. Okay. See you in a little bit for the summary of round 4 and the mystery phase of round 4. Okay, so this is the summary for round 4. Lucy went over to the windmill. The reason I'm going back between the windmill and the manor is I'm looking for investigation, and both are good places to get investigation. She picked up a lantern, which gives her +1 cunning and lets her ignore weather. After that, Carl the soldier went up to the doctor's office and he picked up a event card. I'll handle this, which lets him step in the way of a fight for somebody else. Adriana went to the abandoned keep and found an omen. The last time I was in a game and Adriana found an omen, that's the werewolf battle, it went rarely badly. This time she passed it and got 1 investigation, which isn't all that great, but at least she didn't make lots of things get discarded this time. Then Inspector Cook went to the the covered bridge, and got an event card. It is now mystery phase. 6, scattered clues. Scattered clues is good. Scattered clues is very good, except for it just got rid of a layer that would have been really cheap. Okay, so scattered clues here. 2 investigation in the marsh. Okay, now we draw a mystery. Evil is on the move. Place 2 investigation on every name space on the board. While in play, any layer card played is immediately canceled on a D6 roll of 5 or 5+. So not only do you have to pay double to get into it, but you have to start a showdown. So anybody, I guess anybody else can join in with the normal cost. Oh, but that's hideous. Okay. Every namespace gets 2 investigation. We now have investigation all over the place. Okay. I will now go on to turn 5. We're back to Carl being first. See you in a little bit. Okay, welcome back. Well, again, this is round 5. Okay, so at the start of round 5, Carl went to the town hall and managed to draw aggressive combat, Spirited Away. Actually managed to draw aggressive combat. Already had Spirited Away. Discarded the escape that came with it because wanted escapes mostly for town elders and doesn't really help for heroes, so it's limited use. Then unfortunately he rolled a 2 and drew a mystery and got attacked by the Scarecrow. He ignored 1 wound because of his special. He ignored 2 wounds because he discarded the garlic. He took 1 wound and he managed to hit it, I believe, twice. So he got 2 investigation out of that. but he failed to pick up any investigation off the board. That left him with 10 investigations. Since it was phase 2, he decided to buy a lair, and he found a lair in the abandoned keep. Unfortunately, it cost a base of 2, and since this is the Scarecrow, it'll cost 4 to get into. But we know where it's lairing. Also, we'll get to that in a little bit. I forgot to edit it. After Carl, Adriana went to the blacksmith and bought herself a torch and picked up, I Think, another copy of I Think Not. Then Inspector Cook went to the magistrate's office. Oh, that investigation is gone. And he picked up Knocked Away. He picked up Knocked Away, and he used his reassuring speech, which pushed the darkness meter back 3, and it's now back to phase 1, which is what I forgot to edit. We are now back to phase 1. We are no longer phase 2. Okay. And then he trained up his cunning, so his cunning is now 5. And the reassuring speech, he rolled 3, so he got base of 6. Because of his ability as a detective, he got +1. He now has 14 investigation. He's probably going to go up and buy himself some tools of science. Okay, and then Lucy rolled a 1, and she drew a aggressive combat card. And now it is time for the mystery phase. Oops, that's a D3. D6, here we go. 4, minion attack. 4, is that an actual minion? That is a murder of crows. Oops, wrong plate. Oh, I know what the mystery card is going to be. Fields. There is a murder of crows in the fields. Okay, so I'm going to take one of our 15 crows, put it in the fields. I'm going to take another one of our 15 crows and put it in the space here. And another one in the space here. Yeah. Okay, crows in the fields. And now the madness. Well, you see, I already saw the mystery. The madness. This card plays on the hero who drew it, which would be Carl. Apparently fighting it just infected him with madness. You may no longer move normally. Instead, during your move phase, draw a random location and move to that space. If KO'd or when the shadow track crosses to a new stage, roll a d6. On a roll of 5 or more, the madness goes to another hero of your choice. Otherwise, discard it. So, Carl is now crazy. And that is the end of turn 5. I'm going to mark that Carl has the madness right now. Hopefully it'll go away. But right now, Carl is crazy. Okay. And I'm going to pause right now. Pause the recording for round 6. Okay, so turn 6. Adriana moved to the manor, found a secret passage. Apparently it wasn't the same secret passage as the one that Carl found, because this one took her to the old woods. Either that or there's a lot of tunnels in that secret passage. Granted, I'm the one that chooses where it goes, so. Anyway, I went to the old woods and found a book of witchcraft, so her spirit and her cunning went up. Then Inspector Cook moved to the blacksmith, and he bought a padded jacket and a tools of science. And apparently filling up the wound counters on the ally won't kill them. You just have to heal them up. Normal. I think it's a specific thing that you would lose them or kill that they would you would lose them or they would die. So I picked up the Tools of Science, so he now fights with cunning instead of combat, so he rolls 5 dice now instead of 2. And I picked up Padded Jacket, so he now has 6 wound boxes instead of 3. Okay. Then we went on to Lucy, who decided to go back up to the windmill and found a coachman. After that, we drew for the random location for where Carl was going to end up, and he ended up back at the town hall. I rolled for lingering, and I fortunately did not linger. I rolled to see the if I would get a mystery for being the town hall normal effect, and I did, which is why the crows moved. Also, the event I drew, I had a choice between Daybreak, which could remove one of these several remain in play things, or I could add +1 spirit to any hero. I decided to add +1 spirit to Adriana. I'm going to try to get her the runic out amulet in a little bit. Anyway, Carl managed to pick up 1 investigation, and Adriana managed to pick up 1 investigation. It is now mystery phase. 4. Minion attack. Of course a minion attack. 5. I think that's an actual... that's another murder of crows. Okay, where is this one? Oh. Let me read it. Ah. Okay. 1 crow here. 1 crow here. And I can't place the 3rd crow, so the darkness meter goes down by 1. Okay. And there are a lot of crows on the board. I counted the tokens. If you run out of tokens, you start getting shadow track things. I'm going to have to start clearing some of these crows. You notice one of them walked into Lucy. Fortunately for her, it did not take anything from her. She was lucky. We'll see if that continues. It might end up doing a wound or something to her. Okay, anything else? Oh yeah, mystery card. Where the real fun happens. Tide of Darkness. A wave of the villain's minions attack. Roll once on the villain's minion chart, re-rolling any event result. And place that minion as well as 2 investigation at 3 random locations. Oh, really? I could just roll this as... oh, that's going to be locust swarms. Yep. Locust swarms at 3 places. Funnily enough, the Tide of Darkness is the Scarecrow. I don't know if you can see that on that tiny screen, considering this will be a tiny screen on a tiny screen. But anyway, let's draw my layers. Abandoned Keep, Old Woods, and Doctor's Office. There's going to be 1 fight immediately because the Old Woods are populated. So we'll show you that. If a monster shows up on the same space as a player, a fight happens immediately. Fortunately, there's militia here too. Okay. So, it's Adriana, so she gets to move first. She's still operating on a combat of 3. What are the stats of the thing? It has 3 wounds and 2 fight. Oh, and we have to use cunning. So she's rolling 4. Okay. Let's see if we can get 3 wounds in one go. Oh, and she has the militia. That locust swarm is done for. It does not get a chance to hit her at all. And she gets 4 investigate out of that. So she can go get, this coming round, she will probably start heading up to the blacksmith's place to get the runic amulet. That was pretty cool. Okay. Now it's time for round 7. Okay. So, here we go. Now the way it goes is Inspector Cook went down to the doctor's office. He fought a locust swarm and he picked up a magistrate's mandate, which really doesn't help him that much. What this means is he can get another item from the old woods. Which reminds me, I had Lucy had to drop the lantern because the coachman and the lantern are from the same location, so she doesn't have the lantern anymore. She's not as cunning as she was, but she used the lantern to get all the way over there to the manor by going around the crows. And in the manor, she picked up. She during the night watch and ended up getting some information. And she did some investigation into the town elders. She looked into her mother. You can see how that went. Yeah. So, Lady of Darkness, we have another evil elder. Unfortunately, it is just a servant of darkness. It isn't anything nasty like Darkest Secret, which would make them even more powerful. Okay. After that, we had to draw for where Carl showed up, and he showed up at the windmill. He cleared one of the... Oh, Lucy cleared one of the crows over here. Carl cleared the crow over here. Lucy also took 1 wound from that crow, but she'll heal next time. And then he went rooting around in Carl went rooting around in the windmill and found a pitchfork. So the soldier is now armed with a pitchfork. So his combat is now 5. I'm hoping he draws a blacksmith next. But anyway, that goes to Adriana, who drew 4 and moved to the magistrate's office and picked up a party invitation, which means she can carry 3 items total from the manor and the windmill. Which means I might be heading up there with her in a little bit. Might as well see if I can get used of it. Okay. Like, for instance, if I go to the manor, I might find the Holy Bible. But she's making a headway for the blacksmith right now to try to get the runic amulet, which will let her use spirit to fight with. Then she becomes magical female daredevil. Okay, so it is mystery phase. Because werewolf female daredevil apparently doesn't work very well. You end up losing. Okay. Scattered clues. Magistrate's office. Okay. And late night experiments. If Dr. Manning is still alive, roll a d6 for every ally and animal item currently in play, including unsold town items. On a roll of 5 or plus, remove it from the game. Please tell me there is a think. I think not will not help this. Please tell me there is something that will cancel this. Dude. Oh, I got a lot of allies around. Okay, there's nothing I have that will cancel it. So, let's start with Franklin the old dog. Franklin is safe. Jack is dead. Out of the game. He is gone. Over there. Dr. Manning killed him. The war criminal. Lovely. Okay, how about the coachman? Safe. The two horses in the town thing are both safe. So the only one who died was Jack. I wish I could kill the town elder myself, but I can't. He's still performing his wartime acts. Poor Jack. Oh, he's going to get his revenge. I'm going to avenge him after we beat the Scarecrow, assuming we do. Well, that's the mystery phase. It's on to It's on to phase 8. So, and that's going to be a pause. Okay, so this is what happened. We start with Lucy. Lucy decided to go to the blacksmith, and she bought herself a torch and a pistol. And she picked up an intuitive hunch. Then Carl moved from the windmill down to the marsh and had a bit of daybreak and removed the card that would make lair cards possibly fail if we played them, so we can avoid wasting effort. After that, Adriana went to the blacksmith and bought the runic amulet. We are now down to where a lot of our characters can't pay enough to join in on a showdown. And on her event, she picked up endurance, which gave her +1 wound. I also realized that Lucy Houndbrook couldn't buy the padded shirt because Inspector Cook has it. Speaking of Inspector Cook, he moved to the... Oh, I forgot to roll for his... Inspector Cook moved to the covered bridge, picked up all the investigation there, because he rolled 1 success, +1 for being a detective. 8 investigation. And picked up an event, and the event was... Actually, no, he did not pick up an event. He rolled low. So he got a mystery, and the mystery was a chill wind, so now all the heroes roll at -1 fight. Except for the 2 that have torches. So yeah. Okay. That was the end of turn 8. So we are now ready for mystery phase turn 8. So that wasn't the end of turn 8. This is the end of turn 8. 2, Creeping Shadow. That's the shadow track. I'm calling it the darkness meter on here. It's actually the shadow track. Okay. And moved 1. Okay. Not too terrible yet. Now we have to deal with the mystery card, which is usually very terrible. It's struck again! The villain attacks one of the town elders. Roll a d6. On a roll of 4+, the town elder with the lowest spirit is killed. Each hero gains 1 investigation. Aha! It didn't manage to kill anybody. Okay. But everybody gains 1 investigation. You gain 1 investigation. And you gain 1 investigation. And you gain 1 investigation. And you gain 2 investigation because you're special. I already gave you yours. Lucy is not very useful for combat right now. Okay. It is time to go to turn 9. So, pausing again. Okay, so apparently Carl in his madness has found some bizarre path that leads from the marsh to the windmill. Um, because he's gone from the windmill to the marsh and back to the windmill again. Whatever. That said, that's what he did. He went up there. He found a gunpowder keg in the windmill. He decided to drop his pitchfork since you can only have one item from each location. He decided to drop the pitchfork and carry around the gunpowder keg instead. Then Adriana moved to the church with looking to pick up some of the investigation there, and she got into a duel of honor with somebody and won. I was rolling honor, not combat, so yeah, she won. And then she rolled 2 successes. She got 4 investigation out of that. She picked up all the investigation on the church. Oh, and I spent 2, which I forgot to roll for or take off. She spends 2 to try to increase her spirit. Let's see if she succeeds. It's honor and it has to be over 5. She gets 2 successes. So spirit plus 1. Oh, I want to take her up to the manor to look for the Holy Bible, the family Bible. Church training. She's becoming a... okay. Here we go. That went to Inspector Cook, who went down to the old woods and found some healing herbs. Since he has the magistrate's mandate, he can carry both the healing herbs and have Franklin on his team. Then, let's see here. I'm actually thinking about having him meet up with Lucy and having him give her Franklin so that she would have more than 2 health. Lucy rolled 1, and I forgot that she could get another 2 move out of it. Excuse me. And I had her go down to the town hall. And at the town hall, she managed to avoid a mystery. And she picked up an honorable gesture. And since she rolled a 1, she also got an intuitive hunch. And that was turn 9, and we are now in mystery phase. I don't know what's making me sneeze. 2. The darkness meter moves again. Oh, bother. It's phase 2 again. Wait. I think not! Adriana prevents it. So back to phase 1 with you. You have to make do with the bonuses your servants give you. Okay. Now, let's see. Okay. Now we do the mystery card. Sorry, I paused there a little bit and got a little bit confused. March of Darkness! Every minion on the board immediately moves 2 spaces along the shortest path to the town hall. Yep. He gets to roll 1 twice. He's fine. I should have had to move that much before. Okay, so we have crows and locusts moving on the town hall. That is turn 9 over with, and we are moving to turn 10. I'll be back with the player's summary in a moment. Well, we didn't get actually all the way through turn 10, the next turn, before I started, because right here we have a showdown going on. We didn't almost have enough, but there was a portent, and through an honorable gesture, Lucy prevented all the wounds done to Cook, which gave enough investigation for them all to come over. We'll check something on the militia. Any hero in the same space can get +1 combat, and it will it can take 1 wound as well. That's good, but if it takes the wound, it goes away. Here we go. So, first things first, I'm going to read the special here. If the villain is the vampire, he gets +1 when rolling for Slips into the Night ability. We are not fighting the vampire. We don't have to worry about that. So, I'm going to start this with the person who started the showdown, and that is Inspector Cook. He uses Cunning for combat, for fighting. He has Healing Herbs and the Tools of Science. Okay, let's see if there's anybody that has Brilliant Deduction that I can use with him. Aggressive combat will not help him since it specifically adds to combat, which is a stat. No. And that adds to... Nope. Nobody has anything that will help him. So he is on his own. He is using his Conning of 5 to fight the Scarecrow, which has Sophie and Lady Hanbrook with it. Now, I think with him, he's got Cunning of 5. I'm going to roll 2d6 against Sophie with no successes. By the way, Lady Hanbrook Lord Hanbrook turned out to be a hero of the people, so our hunting party... Oh, I forgot to... Let me stop that. Okay. Lord Hanbrook is with Carl the Soldier, because he's the one that discovered he was the hero of the people. No, Adriana is. So Lord Hanbrook is with Adriana, I believe. And let me check. Yep. And then we got Madgecroft. We're going to put him with Inspector Cook. And then that leaves us with the militia helps everybody. And I just rolled 2d6. Let's do another 2d. Let's do 3. Let's do another 1d6 on her. More than 5. 1 success. So Sophie is dead. I still have, let's see, Hanbrook, Craft. Craft actually would go with Hardbrook. So I still have, Sophie's gone. It's 3. I have 2 with him and +1 from the militia. I have 3 more dice. Those are going against Lady Hanbrook. And Lady Hanbrook is now dead. He did not damage the Scarecrow at all, but killed its servants. So got rid of, still basically did damage it, because now it's down to combat 5. But it still gets its combat dice for that right now, because that happens simultaneously. So it gets 7d6 to fight him. And it's doing 4 successes. I think there's another honorable gesture out here, isn't there? I thought there was another honorable gesture out here. Nope, there is not another honorable gesture out here. 4 wounds would make him up to almost injured, so I'm going to discard the healing herbs and prevent 2 of those. So he only takes 2 wounds. So, That is Inspector Cook taking 2 wounds and getting rid of the 2 crazy women, including Lucy's mother. Okay, now goes from him to Lucy, who has Magistrate Croft with her, so she's got +2 to her combat. She's going to take aggressive combat. And, oh, everybody's at -1 fight, I forgot. Dang it. She's got +1 for the pistol, so that's +3, so that's 5. She's carrying a torch right now, so she would not be affected. But he rolled more successes than he needed, so he's fine, actually. Okay. Yep, aggressive combat goes. Should I discard the torch or not? Pistol, so that's +3, it's 5. +2 for Croft is 7. 7 dice. Okay, we're going to do 7 dice. Whew, 1 hit. And it rolls 5 dice with 0 successes. So we have done 1 damage to the Scarecrow out of 20 wounds. So we're at 19 of 20. Okay. Next is Carl. Yeah, he can't use I'll handle this during the showdown, so. Okay, aggressive combat. Spirited attack. That's +4. Give him, oh no, I'll go to there. Let's see, anything else that is combat related that we have that we can use? It does not appear so. So that's +4. I am going to use the gunpowder keg, which is an extra 6 fight dice. It's going to go down to 5, so that's 10 bonus. It's going to go down to 5 because 9 because of the chill wind. So 9 plus 4. Let me check something real quick. Yep, 9 plus 4 is 13 dice. Oh, really? All that and only 2 successes? And it got 1 success against him, but he ignores it because of his special. 2 successes. It is now down to 16. Nope, 2 successes, not 3. 17. Okay. Oh, that's annoying. Adriana's turn. She's going to get an intuitive hunch from Lucy for a +2 spirit, and is going to go ahead and roll an extra +2. She's got +1 from training, +1 from an event, +1 from the book, so that's +3, which is 6, plus another 2 is 8. Plus, Lord Honbrook is with her. Oh, I've been forgetting to roll for the attacks on those people. Okay. Well, anyway, he didn't manage any successes against Lucy, so that doesn't matter. 8d6. Oh, +1 from Lord Honbrook, which doesn't matter because it would be -1 for the... No, she carries a torch. I'm going to discard the torch for an extra +4. And +1 from... it's actually... The torch would give a +5 to the... versus the Scarecrow. But because the weather, it's going to reduce it by 1, so +4. So 8 plus 4 is 12, +1 from Honbrook is 13. But I already rolled 8, so we're just rolling another 5. 2, so 5 successes. Okay, 5 successes, 12. Okay. That is the end. Oh, the Scarecrow is going to do one die against Lord Hombrook and fails, and 4 dice against Sophie and take 1 success. Not Sophie, Adriana. Adriana takes 1 wound. She was already had 1 wound, so she's now at 2, which means she has 2 more because she has the endurance thing, which gives her +1. Okay. I gotta roll another one because of the militia, and 1 for Carl. There we go. So there's another 1. So right now the militia is canceling out the chill wind. I'll just remember that. That's pretty nice. The militia is canceling out the chill wind. Okay. It is now into the showdown. We're going to roll 2d6 to find a random event. It's 9. This is optional. The villain immediately does d3 hits to the heroes collectively. These may be divided as you see fit. Okay, so d3. 1 d3. 1 hit. 1 hit. Oh, that's going to go to Lucy because she's going to heal it at the start of the next one. Okay. Lucy heals. She's back to full health. And it is, last time we started with Cook, so this time we're starting with Lucy. Lucy is going to discard her torch, which means the militia is canceling out. She doesn't get a bonus for it, but she gets +5 for the militia. I mean, she gets +5 for the torch, +1 for the pistol. That's +6, +2 for Croft, so that's +8, and she has a combat of 2, so that's 10. 10d6, more than 5. I think we're going to win. 2 successes. Okay. Of course, it could end up having an escape thing on one of its events. Now the Scarecrow is going to put 1 die against Croft and fails. 4 dice against Sophie. It's going to succeed, which will take her out, but she's going to force it to re-roll 1 of those, and it's still going to succeed. Somebody's going to do knocked away. Adriana's going to knock her away, out of the way, and she loses her pistol. So Lucy's now down to 4 fight dice because Croft. Okay. We go to Carl, who is rolling 4 dice. Here we go. 2 successes. The militia cancels out. 7. Scarecrow rolls 5 dice. 1 success, which is ignored because Carl is the veteran. Okay, Adriana's turn. Adriana is rolling at 6, +1 for Lord Hombrook, +1 for militia, -1 for chill wind. She no longer has a torch to expend. And she gets 2 successes. Okay. 2 successes. Let's see what the Scarecrow manages against her. It's down to 5 health. I really think we're going to win. Scarecrow, 5. Oh. 1d6 against Lord Hombrook. Fail. 4d6 against her. 1 success. She is going to use her special ability, which I should have done last time, to make him re-roll that fight die. She spends 2 investigation. Let's see if he can do it again. Yep. Another 2 investigation. Yeah, okay. She takes no wound, but she's down to 4 investigation. Okay. Okay. Inspector Cook. Inspector Cook is rolling 5 dice. And gets 2 successes. Scarecrow is rolling 5 dice. Gets 1 success. So he is now at 3 out of 5 because remember he still has Franklin and the padded jacket, so he's actually at 3 of 6. He has 3 more wounds he can take. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm a little bit sniffly. I need to get a... That's why this is here. Excuse me. Okay. Now, it is time to roll the 2d6 and see what happens. 8. Supernatural forces. Heroes must use spirit to fight this round instead of combat. Instead of their whatever normal, I'm assuming. Okay, at least it did not heal. Ooh. Okay. There's a lot of stuff there on the optional chart that could have ended this showdown and gotten the Scarecrow to escape, which would have been problematic. We would have had to find a new lair and other such things. Okay. Everybody has to use spirit. So, Carl is using spirit. Oh, he rolled 1 success. And it rolled 3 successes against him, one of which is ignored. No, it's got 2 health left. And it's about to hit the witch. So I think it's about to go down. And Carl takes 2 wounds. He would have taken 3, but he's Carl. Oh. Carl can be knocked away. Nope, Carl is KO'd. Carl is KO'd. He is out of this fight. That 1 wound was enough. KO! Okay, but we're on to Adriana, who is rolling 7. Would be +8 if it weren't for the chill winds. And gets 2 successes. That's enough to beat it. And it does 1 wound to her, which she makes it re-roll just to be spiteful. And it fails. Dun 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 dun! And then we go and try Dr. Manning for murder and probably hang him from gallows for killing Jack. Okay. So, that is Touch of Evil versus the Scarecrow. And we won.